Welcome to Spiritual Formation, PAST 5101 OE, Spring 2023. Hi, I'm Arthur Kelly, and I have the joy of guiding you through this course. I prefer journey language, but it is a course for this semester. I'm eager to meet you and to engage your head and your heart in the exploration of spiritual and ministerial formation. The purpose of this first week is to provide you with what I think of as the essential, even foundational nature of the course, where it's headed, how we'll get there, my role, your role, and key vocabulary that will be used throughout the semester. But first, I think it's only fair, let me introduce me to you. My name is Arthur Kelly. You may call me Mr. Kelly, you can call me Dr. Kelly. This is the last semester of my fourth year of teaching at AU after living and teaching in Portland, Oregon, at Anderson's University's sister school, Warner Pacific. I'm retired, but a still active learner and teacher, stretching back, nearly 60 years. I began my teaching career in 1966 as a high school English teacher in Red Bluff, California. Since then, in one way or the other, I've been a teacher of English, communications, literature, Bible, and the humanities, and now spiritual formation. I'm a transplanted Californian who has lived more years in Oregon and Indiana than in California. I graduated from Warner Pacific in 1965 and worked there as a teacher and administrator for 23 years, beginning my career there in 1972. At Warner Pacific, I've served as English and Humanities professor, as Dean of Students, and as provost. But in everything I've done and everything I've tried to do, always a teacher. I left Warner Pacific in 1995, moved to Anderson, Indiana, and worked for 15 years in publishing and editorial work for Warner Press, a denominational publishing house for Church of God, and at Church of God Ministries, the headquarters of the Church of God, which is the denomination that sponsors AU. In that position, I was involved with congregational and ministerial health and Christian education. I retired from here at Church of God Ministries a few years ago and returned home to Oregon and to teaching again at Warner Pacific in both the traditional and the adult programs. A couple of years ago, we replanted ourselves in Anderson, and this is the beginning of the second semester of my fourth year teaching speech and formation. I'm married to Judy. We've been married since 1964. We have 3 adult children, 3 adult grandchildren, and now 5 great-grandchildren. I'm a reader, a poet. I am an ordained minister in the Church of God. I love talking about important stuff, which is one major reason I keep teaching. I love teaching. I love learning. I never feel quite as at home as I do when in the classroom with students who also love learning. I think the lines between teaching and learning are very blurred. So I look forward to learning from you as well in this journey. I will engage you as an intelligent and experienced person who have much to share and much to learn, just as I do. I just recently completed a Strengths Finder survey, which informed me that my signature themes are input, I'm inquisitive, empathy, I'm intuitive, connectedness, I'm a bridge builder, a ranger, I'm a flexible problem solver, and intellection, I like to think. I think those themes do a pretty good job of summing me up. I think of myself also as a relational teacher. I don't make a lot of distinctions between academic learning and life learning. You'll be asked to do both in this class, and I will formulate these lectures and responses to you in both ways. I genuinely look forward to spending time with you all, and I hope facilitating your pilgrimage wherever you are on that and wherever it may take you. Before I turn to some of the other items for this new beginning, let me say this loudly and clearly. Study the syllabus. It's posted on Canvas, as is the calendar for the course. It's the official statement of this course, its purpose and activities, as well as information about your responsibilities. Because this is an online course, I've worked hard to make it as clear as possible. By the way, before I get any further, let me say clearly and loudly that the best way to get in touch with me and get a quick response is to send me a text. Use my phone number. It's posted on the syllabus. Make sure you include your name and 5101 in your message so that I know who is writing and what the context is. This course is divided into 3 major sections. In the first one, which actually begins next week, we'll be exploring human development. It will not be an in-depth study. My plan is to teach about our development as human beings engaged in discovering who we are and how we live in the face of what some call the human condition or the human predicament. The second division is to focus on spiritual formation. By that I mean how we come to believe what we believe, what is meant by faith formation, how we learn to live and grow faithful to our beliefs. The third division is on pastoral and communal formation. This division will focus on the question of leadership in the life of the church or body of believers who are traveling well or not so well with each other. How will we do this? Each week will begin with a lecture that addresses the particular focus for the week as outlined in the calendar. This lecture will be recorded as a video like this one, or in some instances will be delivered as a narrated PowerPoint. Nearly every week will include reading and a required response to the reading and to each other. I'll explain that reading and response as part of the lecture, and when necessary, direct you to the prompts for that response that will be available on Canvas. My lectures will always be posted to Canvas no later than Saturday night of the preceding week, so you have plenty of heads-up time to read and review and respond, the 3 R's of this class. I actually might want to add a fourth R, reflect, because at the heart of this course, you're being asked to do a lot of reflection. Sometimes there will be an additional video that I think is particularly effective in its treatment or response to the matter under study. What do you do? Well, you're probably familiar with this, but just in case, obviously you follow the directions. You watch the lecture and so forth. Then you will respond to the challenge, the prompts, by and not later than midnight on day 3 of the week, Wednesday. You will engage with your classmates with a follow-up response to your classmates' initial responses by and no later 11:59 on day 7 of the week. That's Sunday. You should post at least 2 substantive follow-up responses to the prompts I put forth and your classmates' responses, and I will engage all of you in that process. It's not just you answering me, it will be me also engaging you in your responses. Now, what do I mean by substantive? Students always want to know. Your initial response, the very first response to the prompts I post, should be around 200 and 250 words. I'm not counting, but it gives you an idea. Your secondary responses to your classmates should be somewhere around 100, 150. But substantive means much more than word count. Substantive posts must advance the conversations. Comments such as "good point" or "I agree" are not substantive unless they're followed by additional insights, unless they provide relevant illustrations or raise additional questions. They should speak thoughtfully with the prompts. Language used may be conversational, but must be professional. And do your best to use appropriate spelling, grammar, and punctuation. I warned you, I'm an English teacher. Now let me turn to 3 key terms that are essential to understanding and responding to this course. I'm going to talk about human development, define briefly spiritual and faith formation, and pastoral and communal formation from my perspective and how these will inform the course. We will go into much deeper work on each of these sections, but because I'll use them starting right away, I want to give you some basic definitions. So there are 3 terms here with human development. If you could see my script, it would say human development / the human condition / human agency. What I mean by the human condition is the unique and believed to be inescapable features of being human. Irreducible, inherent, independent of gender, race, ethnicity, class, nationality, over which we have little or no control. Self-awareness, rationality, sapience, curiosity, appearance and reality, inevitability of isolation, mortality and anxiety regarding death, capacity for good and evil. All of those are common human characteristics. Human development is the branch of psychology that studies and tries to optimize the elements that help people live healthy and fulfilling lives as they face up to and deal with the human condition. This field aims to understand the various changes, physical, emotional, intellectual, and I think in this course spiritual, individuals and the relationships go through as they continue to learn and grow. Christian spiritual formation or / faith formation is on deepening of one's relationship with the Trinitarian God. Note the qualifier Christian. Spiritual faith formation is not unique to Christianity. All religions and some non-religions address formation. In this particular context, Anderson University and its mission, we all focus on Christian formation, and we will focus on Christian formation and the history, understandings, and teachings of Jesus and the church. Discipleship, often used synonymously with formation, is, I think, more specific and directly related to this course. Discipleship is a focus on the maturing of one's faith in the context of the particular beliefs and values of a faith community. It often focuses on the individual and his or her relationship with God and beliefs about God. Excuse me. But in Christian formation in particular, there's no private faith. It is personal and communal. Finally, pastoral and communal formation, the 3rd division of this course. Because this is a school of theology and Christian ministry, we will also focus on the role and responsibilities of leaders in the life of the church and ask, what is that role and what is that responsibility, and how are those lived out in the communal life of the church? This will be the final division of our work together, and in many ways a bringing together of all that we've explored and considered during the previous weeks. Well, I have reached the end of what I intended for today, for this week, except to call your attention to your assignment for this week. I don't know you. Well, I might know one or two of you, but I don't know you. Some of you may know each other or know of each other. Some may know no one in the class. We need to get acquainted. So once I've told you about myself in this little lecture. So once you have finished listening to me, go to the assignment entitled, Let Me Introduce Me to You, and follow the directions and post your responses according to the directions that I've given here and which are also on Canvas. By the way, all of these lectures, not the PowerPoint, the PowerPoint also, will be posted on Canvas. So if you, for some reason, don't get access or need to follow up on something, you don't need to always go back to the PowerPoint presentation. You can go to the manuscript presented. So I'm at the end. Enough, more than enough. You're probably thinking, I'm excited to begin the journey. I hope you are as well. Blessings and traveling mercies. God bless you.